Hello, my loves. Sam here for my Eden Forest Collective video journal, night 12. We only have one more night here. Sad face. Today was such a huge range of experience and emotions. Like, wow. Just wow. I gave an epic Tom session on the land. And honestly, it's so funny because outside of the farm, almost all of my clients have been men. I've had 2 female clients. And it's so interesting because both of the female clients I've had have been with their partners. And here I have had only women sign up for sessions. And I'm not going to lie, I love serving men. Do not get me wrong. I love serving men. But serving women the last few days has been so juicy. Women, I guess these women in particular, but I do think it's fair to generalize and say that women just let themselves go there so much faster and more easily than men. Just really incomparable. Just wow. The session that I had today, I feel like it would have taken me 6 concentrated sessions with a man to get him to a place where she got in the first 30 minutes of our session, which is to say full fucking permission and surrender and permission to go there, to go to the healing place, to let herself feel all the things, to feel the fucking rage, to feel the hysterical laughter and humor, to feel the deep ache and vulnerability, to feel the immense empowerment, to completely surrender to the surge of the waves. Fuck, it's so fucking juicy. Wow. So that was my morning. It's the first thing I did. Epic, amazing, so powerful. And then I had a little bit of a hiccup, and I'm gonna be really graceful as I recount this part of my day for a lot of reasons, but where do I want to start with this? I feel like I want to give 20 prefaces to this conversation, but I'll just give a couple. I want to start here. Safety and a safe container or a safer container does not imply that there won't be conflict or tension. And I feel that so far my experience at Eden has been a safe container. And it's funny because some people really prefer the term safer container instead of safe container or space, because sure, it's not truly ever fully 100% safe. So safer container, whatever. But yeah, that doesn't mean that it's going to be without conflict or tension. And so we had to sit, me and the creators, with some conflict and tension today, because this sacred healing space that is being cultivated is a healing space, but healing can mean many different things to many different people in many different communities. And there is, thank goddess, quite a bit of diversity here on this land in a lot of ways, and is serving a diverse purpose. And some of those diverse points and perspectives are that it's a land that hosts children's activities and workshops and, space for kids. It has, there is an elder who is a steward of the land here, who is Shumash and quite traditional, and a wisdom keeper. And there is also the growing desire to host more sensual forward and sexual healing types of spaces and events and workshops. There was just one, before our residency program started, called Eating Eve, which is such a great name. And sometimes those types of those lineages and those healings and those types of perspectives can feel in contrast with each other. or I don't even want to say unconsciously the truth because that's not true, actually. But there can be tension in the way that a space can hold all of those perspectives and people and types of people. Um, and, you know, my work is my work. And I was very upfront about my work from day one. And on day 12, we had the realization of some tension around the fact that, you know, I'm going to be performing tomorrow at this event that is for all ages, including kids. And I wanted to integrate some ceremony and ritual into my performance so that we could really embody the clearing of sexual violence. And there was tension around that. And we were able to get to a place where in the short term, we came to a short-term solution. But honestly, this is a conversation that I really want to start having. I feel like my gut and intuition and higher self are guiding me to start really participating in this cultural conversation around, like, if we're going to be having these conversations about sexual healing, which we need to, they cannot be shoved to the side or pushed in a closet or made like an opt-in experience. You can opt out of them if it feels too triggering for you, but it should not be a buried conversation. And some of the tension was around they wanted to move me away from the main stage, which I was not okay with. And how do we have this like sophisticated interaction with the fact that there are children present? And like, I really, in my absolute fucking core, believe and know to be a truth that this conversation can be had with children. And in fact, needs to be had with children so that we don't reproduce more sexual repression and trauma into the next generation. It has to be had. Otherwise, we are just going to keep repeating the same fucking shit. And so I'm feeling really inspired to start participating in the thought process and in some of the solutions around this. I'll probably address it a little bit in my speaking, in my performance tomorrow. But yeah, we just kind of decided on like a short-term solution, which is I'm not going to do the ceremony aspect. I'm just going to perform, and we're going to put a disclaimer on the performance and stuff like that. So that was really intense, and I was really upset about it most of the day because the conversation was not easy, and it could have been had in a better way, but we're not judging. No one is being judged of anything because I get it. But then, you know, also it gave me just the right amount of fire because I really was expressing my confidence in my performance. So for my rehearsal, I was like, okay, great. Now you better fucking back it up because you can't be talking that shit and not be able to back that shit up. So then I rehearsed really fucking hard and I slayed it. And I'm so excited to perform tomorrow. It's gonna be fucking great. And I worked out super hard. My abs do work. Oh my God, I did 4 pull-ups today, which is the most amount of pull-ups that I've done in like, I don't know, 7 years or something like that. So that was really exciting. And then it was like a swoop transition of just like, I wrote a letter to the owners of the farm and the coordinator of the program to just kind of like clear the air and release the charge and get to a loving place. And then we had like so many people over at the farm for dinner. It was just like this big family style. We had Shabbat. It was so fun and so loving and so sweet and like just delightful. So that was like such a loving way to end the night. And then I had this reflection of like feeling really grateful for this tension and this conflict arising. And that's when I had this realization of like where I started this message was like, you can have safe spaces and have tension and have conflict that happens within a safe space. And it's actually a blessing because if that shit weren't happening, that would just mean we're in a fucking echo chamber. And that does no work when you just surround yourself with all the people who agree with you on all the things, then no work is actually getting done. So it is a blessing, and I am grateful, and I do feel inspired to participate in this conversation in a bigger way. Tomorrow's the last day. Well, I guess we're here a little bit on Sunday too, but tomorrow's the last big day, and I'm excited to perform and tune in. I will try to. I think I'll post the whole performance. Why not? I usually don't. I usually just post little clips, but maybe I'll post the whole thing since I've been doing this video journal, and it feels like a good completion. Okay. I love you. I hope you have a good night. I'll see you soon.